In a world where businesses everywhere are trying to make print-on-demand sales, one podcast goes above and beyond every week to bring the most POD-specific information there is, all to help save the day, every day. Don't succumb to the enemies of your print-on-demand business. Sign up today for the Print On Demand Cast VIP email at printondemandcast.com/VIP. This time, it's for real.
Welcome back to the Print On Demand Cast. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about consistency in your print on demand business. Let's get into it.
Radical! Welcome to this week's episode of the Print On Demand Cast. Each week, join the gnarly Travis and Josiah as they provide insight into the print on demand industry and equip you with the totally tubular tools, advice, and strategies you need to achieve success and hopefully have a few laughs along the way. Now on to this week's Totally Tubular show.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 217. We're going to be talking about consistency today in your print-on-demand business. But before we get to that, as you can tell, this is another solo episode. Josiah could not make it. He's been very busy with some new things that have developed in his life, and hopefully he'll be able to be on next week and share a little bit about that. As far as I'm doing, things are just kind of going really fast lately. We had a conference at our church last weekend. And then I think I might've mentioned last week, my in-laws were in town and they were here until, Monday. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy. A lot of things happening. I've got an order over there that I need to get out, a local order. I've got another person, chomping at the bit to order some more stuff. And then, of course, we're still ramping up for Q4, trying to get as many products as we can. I did actually sell my first ornament of the season recently. So that's a good sign, hopefully, of good things to come. It was a custom ornament. So we changed some things for the customer and they ordered 3 of them. So I will be sharing with you a little bit more about how I went about that and how I did that on my Etsy account, probably next week or maybe the week after. I don't know, but at some point, maybe I'll do a video or something, but was pretty cool. And so, yeah, I think we're here, we're in Q4, things are moving forward, whether we like it or not. So hopefully you're getting those listings uploaded and updated. And, yeah, so hopefully you liked last week's episode. We talked to Cole from the Printing United show floor. I had an interview with him and I just released that. It was an audio only, but if you haven't listened to it, it's a pretty good listen. We talk a lot about kind of the state of the industry and some other ideas that you could be doing potentially in the realm of kind of your local area. And we talked a little bit about the company he's working with, ClickPeel. They do DTF transfers, which makes it really, really easy for you to do small runs, for your local PTA or whoever. So I won't talk any more about that. I think we're going to go ahead and push on. We don't have a point of interest this week, but of course, I would be remiss if we did not get to the weekly dad joke.
Time for the weekly dad joke.
All right. So this week, our weekly dad joke. I tried mixing some Mexican alcohol with 20th century American literature last night. I know that sounds crazy, but I ended up with Tequila Mockingbird. That's your weekly dad joke. Brought to you by your friends at the Print On Demand Cast. Hopefully you liked it, thought it was funny. Share that with whoever you'd like to. Like I mentioned, we don't have a point of interest this week. So we're just going to jump right in to the main event, talking about some some benefits of consistency in your print on demand business.
Main event, who's calling?
All right. So main event is the benefits of consistency in print on demand. And I think some of this is kind of goes without saying, and you probably already know it, but I think there's a few things in here that we could jump into, and it'll be hopefully beneficial to you. And also, I just want to kind of tease out that if you stay to the end, I am going to provide a link that you can go download a resource that I created, and it's a free resource. You can have it, and basically just a free little tool that might help you stay a little organized and stay a little consistent. So we all know print on demand can be a grind. There's designs that have to be made. You got to decide what niche you're in. And if you want to go into this other niche, then you need to do research on that niche, and you got to figure out what's selling and what's not selling, what people are doing that it's good. And, then you've got to figure out what keywords you can use to, get in front of the people that are your customers, and what words are you going to use? What kind of SEO, what your title is going to be? Then you got to upload the products, and you got to create mock-ups, and so there's just a lot to it, and it can become overwhelming. And I say this because, I've experienced this. I've experienced kind of the overwhelm and just like oh my gosh, I got to do this again. And it can be debilitating, and so one of the things that, as we talk about consistency, that I didn't really necessarily put on our notes, but as I was thinking about consistency, one of the things that I think we could start with, before we get to like the business practices, is really kind of having a consistency in your mindset, or being consistent with your mindset, because I think that this is the key thing that can reduce your overwhelm. And so a couple of things about using consistency in your mindset. The first thing is going to be, I guess I'd be kind of remiss if I didn't say, go listen to episode 215. I talk a lot about it there. It's a very good episode. Is it 215? Let me just double check real quick. I think it is, but actually, no, I don't think it is. 3, 2, 1, 205. Yeah, so it's 10 off. Episode 205, I talk about self-sabotage and how it affects your business. And I do jump in a little bit to mindset, but when we're talking about mindset and consistency, you need to have consistency to positive reinforcement. You need to have a consistency of being, putting yourself in positions that you can be self-motivated, constantly cultivating this positive mindset, you're doing good, you're doing a good job, and not giving in to those mental, those self-sabotaging thoughts that jump in the way or jump into your thought process, that you're not doing enough, you're not doing good enough, your designs aren't good enough, no one's going to like your stuff. No one's ever going to see it, and that type of thing. You need to be able to identify those types of thoughts, and then immediately release them. Say, that might be true, but I'm not going to listen to that. And what I like to do is a lot of times I'll get frustrated, and I might say something. I just like, this is stupid, and what I'll do in that moment, if I remember to realize it, I will just take a second and I'll just exhale deeply. I'll just, okay. And for me, that's a reset. That's something that will allow me to just be like, none of that other stuff matters. I'm in the here and now. I'm in the present. And this is the consistency I'm talking about, when you can have a consistency of awareness of how you're feeling and how your emotions can get in the way of being a successful print-on-demand business owner. And so that's one of the things that I use. I also try to do some daily affirmations. I'm not as good at this as I as I would like to be, but I'm better than I was before. And so I'm going to take that win and I'm going to continue to try to be better and try to do those things, because I know that when I focus my mind on positive things happen, and these types of things can be considered, oh, that's just, that's silly, that's goofy, that doesn't really work. It's voodoo magic. But the bottom line is that what has your attention has you. And if negative thoughts have your attention, then that's what has you. And you can't go beyond that. And so when you can become aware and choose to make a different choice when it comes to your emotions, because you get to control your emotions, no one else does. And when you can make a positive decision to control those emotions, you can become more consistent with the things that are actually going to help you in your print-on-demand business. Okay, so that was completely off script. I don't have any notes on that, but I just wanted to say a couple of things about that, because I think that is as important as anything else I'm going to say on this podcast today. So back to the notes, the power of consistency is huge. And I think that you would realize that I'm going to talk about the power of consistency in uploading. This has so many benefits. If you can be consistent in uploading, let's just take a few. So the visibility, visibility in the algorithms, or in, on a platform, the algorithms love that. They love that activity. They love you continually, consistently uploading, having new products. Platforms like Etsy really love it. Redbubble really loves it. And they prioritize active shops. Consistent uploads will increase the algorithmic visibility, if you will. It might not do it much. I mean, it might only be just a small kind of boost, and you might not even notice it. But over time, all of these things that I'm going to be talking about combined can boost your overall visibility. But it starts with just being consistent in uploading, and there's a couple of things that happen when you, not just the algorithm and the effect that your consistency has on the algorithm, but some other things can happen too, because more designs equal more opportunities. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? It's simple math. The more products you have on a platform mean the more chances you have to be discovered for a product. And the one design that could be the next bestseller is only going to become the bestseller if it's actually uploaded, if it's actually on the platform, then it also creates momentum, because when you establish a routine, something that you're doing all the time, it over time, it becomes easier to maintain. And so you're creating kind of a momentum, even a culture, if you will, of uploading, of consistently uploading. And momentum is the key to long-term success. The more momentum you have, the more you'll benefit in the long run, because it keeps you in the game. And this one's really cool. This next one is one of the benefits of being consistent in your uploading is your practice makes perfect. The more you upload, the better you're going to get at it. And not just uploading, but you're going to get better at your skills in design, because you got to have designs to be able to upload, right? You're going to get better at your SEO because you're going to have more opportunity to practice this, and you're going to have a better understanding of your audience. Consistency leads to faster and better outcomes over time. Okay. You're going to get better at it. Practice makes perfect. We talk about, no one's going to be really, really good at this when they first start out. You're not going to be good at anything when you first start out. LeBron James wasn't good at basketball until he practiced, and then he practiced more than pretty much anybody on the planet and became one of the best ball players of anybody on the planet. Now, yeah, he had some skill, and to be fair, skill does come into play in this. You might not be a great designer. And someone who is a great designer probably has a leg up on you if you're both consistent. But over time, consistency will win out over talent. Okay. If the one with talent is consistent, they'll win out, obviously. But if they just have talent and they rely on the talent, but they're not consistent. I mean, there are so many, just continuing with the NBA example, there's so many incredibly talented basketball players that could never be in the NBA because they weren't consistent enough. They didn't practice hard enough. They didn't continually put in the reps. And that's actually kind of it should be an encouragement, because you can become good, or at least better at what you're doing through consistency. And then the other thing that consistency does is that it gives better exposure to all of your products. A single new upload could boost your entire store's visibility, because one upload just happened to do really good. And all of a sudden you're getting traffic to your site because people are like, I wonder what else they've done. And all of a sudden your store visibility is off the charts. And then the algorithm sees that. And it's like, okay, we need to put more of this person's stuff in front of people. And so you get just one single upload, and you never know when that's going to necessarily be, new uploads can bring renewed attention even to your older stuff, the stuff that you did a long time ago. Maybe it just never caught on in the algorithm, but you upload this new thing and it does. And now someone sees this other thing, and the older thing is what they really like, or what, maybe that's what rises to the top. You just never know what's going to be the factor. Okay. I've got several other benefits of consistency here. I'm just going to kind of rattle them off. The first one is that it builds trust with your audience. Regular updates signal, and this isn't just on Etsy, this is on Shopify, this is on wherever. Regular updates signal that your store is active and it's reliable. People can come and they can return, and they know there's something going to be new. They like that, and they like that reliability, and they can continue to shop with you. So it benefits your the trust that you have with your audience. It also allows you to stay ahead of trends, because consistent uploading allows you to quickly upload or quickly capitalize on trends, because you were already going to make that product. You were already going to make so many products that day, or that so many listings that day. So you might as well just take that trend and insert it into your workflow. And so you're going to get something up there quicker than somebody who only just does it one day a week or one day a month, and they just upload a whole bunch, or they do, they're inconsistent in their uploading. You have the benefit of having a set time every single day or every single week or however long, and you're going to do it. And then something happens, a trend or something, you see something happening and you can just jump on it, a social trend. There's so many things that happen, and you've seen sales of products in the past from things that have happened in our culture, and something that's happened in the news, and bam, there's 100 shirts, up. Well, you could be one of those 100 shirts, and you can capitalize on that trend because you're being consistent. It'll improve your workflow. Regular uploads will help you refine and optimize your process. I kind of talked about this. You're going to see what works and what could be improved. So I talked about it in the idea that you're going to just get better at it. You're going to be a better designer, a better SEO person. You're going to understand keywords better, all of those things. But you're also going to be able to learn what works and what doesn't work in your workflow. Like what, does it make sense to use this tool, or does it make sense to use this tool? Well, man, I'm spending so much time using a tool like Placeit to manually do every single mockup. Let me look into this bulk mockup that Travis always talks about, and maybe I could learn that, and I could become more efficient. So as you're doing the same things over and over, even though you're doing the same things over and over, you also can learn new ways of doing them. Maybe if you saved them in a different folder structure or something, it could make it easier for you to get them uploaded. Maybe after a while, you realize, every time I do this particular product, I like to have these specific slides or these specific mock-ups. Maybe I'm going to create a Canva template, and I'll always have those. And then all I have to do is change the the design on this Canva template, and I can download the whole thing as a zip folder. I have one file, and boom, I have all my mock-ups for that particular product every time I do it. And maybe I do that for my next product and my other product, so there's different things like that you can get better at and recognize because you're being consistent. So increased efficiency is what we're looking for here. And that's always going to free up your time for other tasks, So I'll say one other thing about improving your workflow. Once you have this workflow in place and you're being consistent, you have the ability to potentially like record yourself doing that and then outsourcing that to a virtual assistant. We talk about hiring virtual assistants all the time, but because you're doing it all the time, it's so second nature to you. You literally can just turn on the screen recorder and there's no surprises. It's not going to be hard to talk somebody through how to do it because you've done it so many times. You're practicing your script, so to speak. You're practicing the video that you're going to use to train the person to take that part over. And you might not even have them take it over. Maybe they just increase your number that you're doing every single week. So that's another thing that it will definitely improve your workflow because you're just doing it and you're seeing the holes, you're seeing how you can be more efficient, et cetera, et cetera. It'll also allow you to give to make data-driven decisions because the more uploads you have, the more data you have to actually analyze, so it's going to help you identify patterns and make informed decisions about, well, when I say these words, or in my description, it does better than when I say these words. When I use these types of mockups, it does better than when I do these types of mockups, et cetera, et cetera. You're just going to have more data because you have so many listings. It'll foster creativity. Consistency can actually boost your creativity because regular design work is going to not only make you better at it, but it's going to lead you to new ideas and new innovations. When you're focused on something continually, you tend to get better at it, and it really does kind of get the creative juices flowing. You're going to build a strong portfolio over time. Of course, diversifying your store with regular uploads attracts a broader audience. So if you have all kinds of, you're going to have so many different types of things. And it reduces the risk of not relying on a single niche or a single design style. So on Etsy, that could be a really good thing. Maybe if you're doing it for a brand or a Shopify, it's not exactly, it would be different, but definitely like on Etsy or on Amazon, you're going to have a whole lot more products out there to grow with. And then, regular upload gives you content to share with your audience. If you're going to use, advertising, or if you have, you're going to post in groups, or you're going to create a group, or you're going to have some type of social media outreach, you just have more content because you have so many more products. And you just have things to talk about with your community because you're constantly researching new designs. You're coming across new things, new ideas, new topics that you could, potentially create community with your group that you've built in Facebook or wherever, on Instagram. When you're showing your things, you'll just have more content to be able to produce because you're producing more listings, which equals more content. Okay, so there's a lot of reasons. I think there's a ton of reasons to be more consistent with your listings and just in your business in general. I'd like to propose a simple challenge of 5 uploads a day. I think if you did this for 1 week, you get 25 uploads, just the weekdays. Maybe if you want to add a weekend day, we'll do, it could be 30 or something like that. But even if you don't want to do 5, start small, 3 uploads a day. Over time, it'll make a significant difference, especially right now when we're in Q4. This is super, super important. It's big right now. The more listings you have, it's just crazy how many people are actually going to be buying over the next couple months for Christmas and the holidays and all of that. So you want to have as many listings as possible. So right now is the time to challenge yourself. Just imagine the impact, better habits, more practice, increased sales, et cetera, more data to analyze, commit to a schedule. And so here's, I talked earlier about, I have have a tool that I made, and it's basically a spreadsheet that I put some formulas in. It's not really it's not rocket science, but maybe it'll help. It's going to track your consistency. It's basically a weekly listing creation tracker. So it gives you the ability to make a target for the week, say, hey, I want to do 30 listings this week. And then it spreads it out over the week, so that if it was 5 days, and then we'll just use 1 day for the weekend. So it's over 6 days of the week. You're going to do 5 a day. So one day you might do 4, one day you might do 6, one day you might do 0, one day you might do 10, it just depends kind of how your week goes. But then it tracks all of that, and you can, week by week by week by week, you can see the number at the top, total uploads keeps going up, and it's hopefully motivating, and you can see what your actual listings are and what your targets are. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a simple tool, but it's really easy to use. You just, can update it every day when you do your listings, but start and try to do a week of daily uploads. I don't care if it's 5, 3, 10, just try to start with that and see how it feels. And then use this listing tracker to track that. And then next week, maybe you want to do less. That's fine. It's whatever you want to do. Just keep tracking it. But you can get that. It's just a Google sheet. So if you have a Google account, you'll need to copy the sheet into your account, and then you can rename it whatever you want. And then you'll be able to edit it. Just go to printondemandcast.com/listing-tracker. That's printondemandcast.com/listing-tracker. It's not like an email capture thing. It's literally, you'll just it'll just open up a Google sheet, and you'll have it, and you can copy it. It's just something I wanted to give to you guys. That link will also be in the show notes. And just wanted to encourage you to track your listings, your listing creation. Hopefully that will become more of a reality, that you are just more consistent in creating these listings. So I think we can all agree that it's super important. And I just really want to encourage you to make that a goal in your business, that you're consistent with that. If it's not you, somebody else in your business is consistently uploading for all the reasons that we talked about today. So that is it for me. It's a little bit shorter. We're just coming up on the 27-minute mark. That's pretty quick, but without Josiah here to bounce stuff off of it, it does go a little bit quicker. But I just wanted to tell y'all I appreciate you, and I really am thankful that you would spend a half hour to an hour with us every week. And if I can ever do anything for you or help you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can jump on a discovery call with me if you'd like. There's a link in the show notes, as well as on the weekly newsletter. We can see if it makes sense for us to work together. I do have some other things that are going on in the background that I'm going to be announcing over the next months, and pretty excited about it. So with that, for Josiah, I'm Travis, and I will see you next time right here on the Print on Demand Cast. See ya.
Hey, babe. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Print on Demand Cast. We hope you enjoyed the Totally Tubular Show. If you got a question or a suggestion for the show, send Travis and Josiah an email at info@printondemandcast.com. Want to be wicked nice? Take a minute to rate and review the show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe now so you don't miss next week's episode. See you next time, for sure.
Hey there, Pod Pals. Are you a print-on-demand creator looking to stay ahead of the curve? You want to know exactly when to launch your designs for every key season and event? How about a chuckle with an extra dad joke to brighten your day? If you said yes to any of these, then it's time to join the Print on Demand Cast VIP list. As a VIP, you'll get our free annual design calendar, an amazing guide to help you time your creations perfectly throughout the year. And of course, we'll include a bonus dad joke each week as well. Signing up couldn't be easier. Just visit printondemandcast.com/VIP and enter your email.
Don't let another day of potential pass you by. Become a part of the VIP list, grab your annual design calendar, and let's dive into a year of inspired creating together. We'll see you on the other side.